I'm joined here now with Anne Scottlin, and she is an author, a motivational coach, as well as an actress. But speaking about you being a motivational coach, just how did you get your start in that?
I started teaching at some acting studios, and I started realizing there was this huge need for artists and creatives to understand the business side of things. And so I started coaching them, and we also had a business background. And that was kind of how it was born. I hadn't gotten sort of certified. I was just working for the studio. And then over time, I was just like, this is so exciting to be encouraging people, helping them find their dream, whatever that is, helping them find those practical steps to make it happen. So after a few years, and I moved, so I wasn't teaching at that studio anymore. So then I went and got my certification from the College of Executive Coaching, so I could do business or creatives, and then it just kind of bloomed and blossomed out of there into coaching, consulting, and I started specializing in emotional wellness and joy, and that's kind of how the book was born.
Yeah, and speaking of your book, Live for Joy, just released back there at this closer to the start of the year, and it was an Amazon bestseller. But just what can readers expect if they're picking up your book for the first time?
Yeah. Well, I was really wanting to write a book that was a personal empowerment book, but that would give you written and visual thought, even if you only had a minute or two, because everybody has a minute or two. But we don't always have time to read a whole chapter or even listen to a whole chapter in the car. So I was like, what can you give like a quick dose of information and visual? Because I am an artist and an actor and I am a very visual person. So when I can combine the two, there's kind of like a twofold punch, like you really get something to chew on. So I wanted something that was poignant but also like thought provoking and inspiring. So the book is really about living a present and authentic life, just really finding the best version of yourself. And it's 285 pages, it has 12 chapters, and it's just a beautiful way to kind of learn how to be the kind of person you're proud of, like an authentic person, someone who wants to make a difference in the world, someone who has good reasons to get up in the morning. And it's beautiful. I will show up here. Yeah, here's the cover. And this is the softbound. The hardcover is even beautiful. And there's also a digital version, but it's just beautiful. And inside, you'll find anytime you just, basically pop open a page, you'll see there is some either really cool digital art or photography, and then something that goes along with it. So like in this case, what that one says is, what we perceive as reality is often merely just a projection of our own expectations. What you expect is what you often think you're experiencing. And then I'm a huge nature lover, so there's also just lots and lots of really beautiful nature photography. Like this is just like a beautiful scenery. But I also like really unique art. Sometimes there's something that's just sort of so thought provoking. It needs something really unique to express the idea. So it's kind of a full experience. You can sit with it for a minute. I know a lot of my clients, they'll have it on their bedside table or their coffee table or their desk, and they'll just be like, today I'm just going to read. And you get kind of a powerful punch. You can pick from the 12 topics, like, where are you at today? Like, what kind of message do you need today? And just go there and grab one. So that's kind of the point.
And speaking of the 12 topics and the 12 ways that you touch upon in your book, now that we're into the new year, are you hoping that people integrate this into their New Year's resolutions?
Absolutely. Because I think we've had such a tough couple of years, and a lot of people are just kind of discouraged. Some people still are feeling isolated. And it's like, how do I reconnect with the world? And like, what is my purpose? And like, how can I make a difference and also enjoy my life, like getting the joy back, right? So there's so many different great chapters. One of them is called Be a Benevolent World Citizen. Be a benevolent world citizen. So it's very much about how you can draw joy from giving and participating. Now that can be in person, that can be virtual, depends on your circumstances and what's going on where you live. But it's kind of like when you start giving back, when you start kind of opening up your mind to have broader perspective and connect with people on what we have in common, because so much over the last 2 to 3 to 4 to 6 years has been about everything is negative. And it's just like all we think about is like, well, that person isn't like me and they're causing this problem, and that person disagrees with me and that's like totally sucks. And like all we see is opposing views on everything under the sun. So what about connecting to human beings just based on what you have in common?
You also have your podcast, The Power of Joy. And for somebody who hasn't got the chance to listen yet, is this kind of the lessons that you continue to teach in the podcast and that you want people to take away while they listen?
Yes. So the podcast is very cool, and it's very much real life issues and how do we address them. I think one of the last ones I had was how to escape a bad mood. It was what it was. It was escaping the bad mood. Like how when you're just in a bad mood, like because we all have bad mood. Like let's get real down to earth. Let's not too much pie in the sky here. Like what is a practical application? And it talks about your point of view and your behavior and practices and how you can really get out of a bad mood. So it's very practical application.
Well, if anyone is looking to get the book or just listen to the podcast, where should they go?
Absolutely. So you can get the book on Amazon. Again, it's called Live for Joy and by Anne Scottlin, ANNESCOTTLIN. And also you can get it on my website or check out more about me at annescottlin.com. And if you want a little taste, you can get my free gift on my website, which is a really cool 1-week joy journal, which just creates more joy awareness for you, how to connect to it, how to get away from the things that are taking it away. So you can get that at annescottlin.com/joy journal, download it for free digital, or you can print it out.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Anne.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate talking to you, Jasmine. It's just been so much fun.